Yes, we're all finished.
With your permission, I'd like to make a couple comments, and I may go over the 3-minute time, if that's okay.
Oh, Chris? I'm the boss? Well, he's the boss.
I know it's okay with Chris, I'm more worried about you. Just to start, this is going to sound a little bit fragmented, but there's an excuse for that. I'm working with a split personality today. I've got an MSU tie on, but I'm a U of M fan, I have to tell you. Now that we have the tone proper. Just a number of things. I've sat here and listened to a bunch of comments. While it's not easy to hear these comments, I appreciate it. Because if you've been here before and listened to me speak, we can't fix things that we don't know are broken. And I would like to echo the last lady's comments, especially to all you students. If this sounds ugly or looks ugly, it's really not. It is a very worthwhile job. Communication is key. You've heard that a couple of times. I can't stress that enough. I always stress that. We had a meeting at Madonna a couple of weeks ago with the interpreters. They had some concerns, and we met, and if you know much about what my philosophy is, if you have a question, you want to meet, I'll be there. I don't care what time of day it is, what day of the week it is, or where it's at. I'll be there because we need to listen. That's our job. This is a team effort. It's not the interpreters versus the politicians. It's not the interpreters versus the deaf, hard of hearing, deaf blind community. It's not the interpreters versus the Department of Civil Rights. It's civil rights, it's the interpreters, it's the deaf community, it's the deaf blind community, it's the hard of hearing community. It is all the other stakeholders that are out there working together to improve the quality of life for everybody. Not just the community, but the quality of life for you guys, because it's not easy doing what you do. I've seen it. I get stuck with Mitch here quite often, and I love picking on him because he can't talk to me. Actually, I'm not supposed to talk to you. It's not easy, so I appreciate what you do, and I'm committed to doing what we can to make your jobs easier, to make the quality of life easier for the community members. There was a comment earlier about we need a deaf attorney. Well, there's probably merit to that comment, but as I'm sure you all recognize, we can't go out, we're civil rights. We can't go out and say we need a deaf attorney. It's a violation of people's civil rights. I understand the concept, I understand the need. They probably understand a little better because they live the situation. But it's not something we can do, but I understand. You know, I heard for a long time we need a deaf director. Well, we got lucky in that the previous director was deaf and he agreed to come back. You know, when we post for a new job, for a new director, we cannot post for a deaf director. It's just not allowed. I'm sure you all understand that, but we understand the need. There was comments about the website. I hope you all know the website is not controlled by us. There is a state webmaster that controls, for the most part, the overall website. There's little things that we can do quickly. Some of those things that you mentioned need to be on there. We will get them on there as soon as possible. The things that we can make decisions on our own, we will take care of. The other ones, we put our request in and they get there when they get there. There's not a whole lot I can do about that. Comment about the budget issue, the hard of hearing specialist position. Dan and Liz and Brenda, and I think a couple others met with me very early on talking about the need for that position. The budget was already in place. Budgets are worked a year ahead of time. I can tell you a little bit right now. There's kind of a gag order. The budget process for 16 has started. Without saying a whole lot, things aren't looking good. That's why I made the comment we've got to be creative. And we can find ways to be creative. So I hear it, I understand it, and we will do our best to deal with it. You know, there was a, I'm going to call it a day at the Capitol here about a month ago, Deaf Awareness Day. That was tremendous. I've had some conversations with some folks. I would like to see that continue personally because that's where the success has come from, folks, is dealing with the people that have the most control over your quality of life across the board, the interpreters, the communities, the stakeholders. They're the ones that hold the purse strings. It would be great to have more people there. The legislators are primed to hear your story. You're the only ones that can tell your story. If you're an interpreter, you're the only one that can tell your story. I can't go talk about what you do. If you're a deaf person, deaf, blind, hard of hearing, I have a little bit of an understanding of what you go through, but I can't tell your story. You have to tell your story. And they listen to that. That makes a difference to those folks. They're receptive to this right now. I've been around politics for quite a while. I enjoy politics. I'll never be a politician, but I enjoy it. Now's the time to start hitting them. There may not be a lot of money out there, but I think there's some things that can be accomplished. There was some disappointment being voiced about not being prepared for a deaf-blind person today at the meeting. Just so you know, we were told Odessa, and I appreciate the fact that Odessa's here, we were told Odessa was not coming. Odessa was a surprise. We were not prepared for that. Take a little bit of blame, but we can't predict what's going to happen in the future. But again, I'm really glad that Odessa was here because there was an award, a certificate of appreciation for it. One of my, probably my last comment is I'll agree with Todd that these kind of things are difficult. I have the greatest respect for Todd. He has been more help to me than probably any other single individual in the community. And Todd understands we don't talk about personnel matters. And to make the comment that was made today about Amanda Nevin was just totally inappropriate. Amanda is not suspended. If she had a job today or a job request, she can go do that job. So I would, well, no, I don't want to know where that came from. But that was just a bad comment. I hope that there's some feeling right now that, well, maybe I shouldn't have said that in an open forum like this. Director of the Department of Civil Rights, I just want to make the comment on the record. Amanda Nevin. Okay. If there are other questions, one of my philosophies is, you have a question about something, call the person you want to talk about. Don't call this lady here to ask a question about me. Call me, I'll tell you. That's the best way to handle stuff. That way rumors don't start running rampant. You get the best information by going directly to the person that it involves. Folks, we have to work together. This is a team effort. We all are reliant on each other to do the best we can for everybody. And the only way that's going to happen is if we communicate. So I hope my comments did not offend anybody that were not meant to. I enjoy what I'm doing here. I enjoy working with the community. This is something that in all of my years I've never experienced, but it's something that has just grabbed me. There are so many things that are out there to do. I run across something almost every day where, in my opinion, we're missing the boat. But like I've said to the advisory council on many occasions, I'm relying on you folks to let us know what you need from us to help you. I don't want to stand up here and say, you need to do this, you need to do that. That would be totally inappropriate in my opinion. But there are so many things I have maintained. I've made these comments to the governor. This is the most underserved community I've ever dealt with. I'm going to be talking to you about things that we need. There is nothing that has changed my opinion. And each day when I go to another meeting and talk to other department directors that have influence on the community, and the fact that they're not doing something, and the other fact that we're not involved with it, I just kind of shake my head and say, okay, where's everybody at? We all have a responsibility to make people aware of the fact that our services are short. The conversations on hard of hearing especially, I've asked the question, what service was provided before that we're not providing now? I need that kind of information to justify going after these positions. I know there's services out there. I've had a nice conversation with Landline. But I need more than one person to tell me, okay, what are we missing here? Because with this governor, he'll tell you he's an accountant, he's a numbers guy. If I go to him saying, I need $500,000, his first question is, what is my return? If I can't show him $1.5 million in savings for a $500,000 investment, I'm not going anywhere. And that savings is this, we're not going to make money on that. But if we can create situations where people can become more self-sufficient and not rely on services, that's a savings. That's a cost savings to the state. That's what motivates this government. So that's the kind of things we're looking at. Those are the kind of things we can do. But folks, it's about communication. It's about picking up the phone and saying, hey, Matt, you really screwed up on this one. You're doing a good job on this one. Did you ever think about talking to this person over here because they really know? And that even goes for you folks as students. Don't talk to anyone. You got ideas? You think we're missing a boat somewhere? The only way I'm going to know it is if somebody tells me. So feel free to give me a call. Chris, what's your number? I'm going to give you your number. So call me anytime you want. No, I appreciate that. And Kathy, thank you for the extra time. I appreciate, I really appreciate what you guys have done today in just a couple hours that I've been here. You guys are starting to move, creating some subcommittees. This is great. This is what we need to do to get the ball rolling. And you know, our resources are there to help you guys. So thank you again.
Kathy said, thank you, Matt. Hands down for interpreter switch.